Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Rangers Review News Bulletin on Monday, the 17th of February. Now, apologies, we are slightly late with today's show. That is due to the Clark household being a bit of a building site this afternoon. I had a guy in doing some radiator work. So, this is the first chance we've had to record this video. And there's a bit of Rangers news doing the round. So, without much further ado, let's get stuck right in. Now, Jack Butland has been speaking after Rangers' 3-1 win over Hearts at Tynecastle on Sunday. Let's be honest, it wasn't the most scintillating of Rangers' performances, but they did come away with all 3 points. And Jack Butland spoke afterwards. It was embargoed, so we got to hear what he had to say at noontime this afternoon. You can also watch his press conference over on the Rangers Review YouTube channel. He was speaking about reacting from last week's diabolical defeat to Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup. And this is what he had to say when quizzed and how he has coped with the general life in the aftermath of that defeat. He says, I wasn't out and about for a start. You know, you learn to pick and choose your moments. But if you don't enjoy that, if you're not part of something meaningful, then you don't like football, you don't like the level of this club. It's part and parcel of it. I've been at clubs where the intensity and demand is not quite the same to win every week. And I can tell you that is much more fulfilling than that, knowing that every game is a game that needs to be won. And it's the end of the world if you don't. And that's the top of it. Well, sometimes not even half if you do win, but that's the standard. For me, if you don't enjoy this and you don't enjoy being part of this challenge, then I don't know what you'll enjoy. It's an incredible place to play. It still is. And I'm focused, and this group is focused on bringing consistent winning to this club. And that's what it deserves. Fans deserve it too. Yeah, absolutely they do. That's for sure. Butland also continued speaking about the squad and making sure that they try and win as many games as they possibly can after that Scottish Cup defeat. He says you need to enjoy things when they're good. You need to feel it when it's not. You need to understand what that is. Boys need to feel it. So there's a few harsh words there, and people need to hear things, and that's important. You need to have that in a group. So it's a difficult week. There's no day that you don't go throughout the week just gone where you're not reminded of the week before, whether it be friends, family, fans you meet in public, around the training ground. It doesn't get away from you. So the biggest thing for the group is trying to pick people up, trying to remind people of the good things that people have been doing, the good things that they're capable of doing. But that's not easy after a week in a game like that. So the messages in the recent days have been about Hearts, have been about the fact that they might have smelt blood and thought we can do one here, and that can't be the case. So that was the message before the game, that there's no way they can feel that because of last week they can turn us over, and we came here and got the results. He went on to speak about the demands for Rangers. He says there's everything, always everything to play for. No friendlies here. There's no free hits. There's no games that you can toss aside as being it doesn't matter. There isn't that, because no matter the game, if you don't get the right result, the reactions are the same. That's what this group is going to have to expect. And as a result of that, the focus is to win every game. It's what the standard is, and it's what the fans need now. It's what the club needs, is some real positivity, some performances that they can see progress in. But ultimately, they need to see the results, and that's what we need to focus on, one game at a time between now and the end of the season. Of course, Jack Butland was man of the match, and speaking about his performance afterwards, he says it's part of being a goalkeeper, it's part of being this football club. You'll be held to high standards, but none are higher than those that I've set myself. So I wouldn't say there's been soul searching or anything like that. When things get tough, I just work harder, I do more. It's just the way I respond. I want to do more, I want to train more, I want to work more in the gym, whatever it may be, whatever I need to look at more. So that's what I've done. So for me, it was no surprise. I feel in a great place. I feel mentally good, physically good. So I always feel that these performances are there. They're thereabouts. When called upon, sometimes it doesn't go to plan, but the intensity and the ideas and the belief in myself is still there. That's never changed. So that is what Jack Butland had to say after the game on Sunday. One of the flashpoints of the game you may have seen is Hearts, some Hearts fans. I've seen some journalists and those of a Hearts persuasion, saying that they were robbed of a penalty. You can see this in this sort of screen grab here of Clinton Enciala apparently pushing James Wilson to the ground. Wasn't enough in it for a penalty. That's what John Beaton obviously decided. Now, Chris Boyd and even Chris Sutton, who is no friend of Rangers, as we all know, said there wasn't enough in it to give a penalty. Now, on Sky Sports, of course, they do their ref watch every Monday. Dermot Gallagher, the former Premier League referee, was on there this afternoon, and this is what you had to say. He says, the referee, if you see his starting position, we can't see him in the picture because he's way behind after being caught on the break. Whether he thinks it's a foul or not, we can't tell because the player is between. There is a little push there. Is it enough to give a penalty? We can see the referee coming into the picture there. He's got what I can down the barrel view. You can't see that. It goes to VAR and they'll say, well, it doesn't meet the threshold. Yes, it's the category of re-refereeing the game, which we don't want. So, he says John Beaton, despite being in a poor position, says it wasn't one for VAR to step in. So, at the time of watching it, no, Rangers scored pretty much 40 seconds after when they went up the park, didn't they, and scored. But I thought that may be looked at, but on the replay, you can see there is a slight push, but I don't think there is enough there. If we're given penalties for that, then we're given about 65 penalties a game. So Rangers, I don't think got away with one there. I think a right decision was reached with regards to that incident. Moving on to other matters, one Rangers player who is not Ibrox at the moment, as you can see on your screen, Ben Davies, seems to be tearing it up at Birmingham City. They're running away with it in League One, as you would expect, because they have spent mega bucks down there. They're looking to return to the Championship at the first time of asking. Ben Davies has been a standout performer for Birmingham, who also have Kieran Dowell and Scott Wright in their ranks. It seems to be a bit of a Rangers reserve squad forming over there. But he's spoken to the local press down there, to Birmingham Live, and he's been speaking about his future. He says, I don't go on social media, or not looking for myself at least, so I haven't noticed. But if that's the case, it's really flattering and brilliant to have their support. I haven't thought about it yet. I just wanted to come out and do a year's loan and try and get going again, because it was a bit stop-start at Rangers for me. I'm happy with the way it's going, but I haven't thought past now. I came here looking to play as many games as possible. When I first came, I realised the strength and depth that the squad had and the quality that they had all over the pitch, especially at the back. So it took a bit of time, and I've been patient. I've done a good run of games now, so it feels good. So that is what Ben Davies has been saying to Birmingham Live about the possibility of extending that stay at Birmingham City. I think... I don't know whether Robin Propper is an upgrade on Ben Davies, I've got to admit. So, what would you like to see happen with regards to Davies? Can you see him coming back and staking a claim at Rangers? I don't think he's got a chance under the current management in place. A new manager might come in and might fancy giving him another opportunity. But do you think that perhaps Birmingham is his level? I think there's a question mark over his physicality with regards to Scottish football. No doubting his ability on the ball. Would you like to see him return to Rangers and stake a claim? Or do you think that it's time now to sort of cut your losses, get money in for Ben Davies, and wish him all the best in his future endeavours? Let us know in the comments, folks, whether you would like to see him return to the club or not. Other bits of news you will have seen, if you're keeping track of the Rangers under 16s over in Doha in Qatar. They're taking part in the Al-Qas International Cup. Well, they were playing today, and young Kyle Glasgow scored an absolute belter of a goal. They drew one apiece with Mohammed the 6th Football Academy. One apiece there. They had already qualified, the Rangers youngsters, for the Al-Qas Cup semi-finals. But Al-Qas English on Twitter posted a video of young Kyle's goal. It was an absolute screamer. And I'd advise you all to have a go and look at that. It's a beauty of a strike. So yeah, he'll be on cloud 9 tonight, and yeah, all the best to the young Rangers team in the semi-finals. Hopefully they can go on and win that, get to the final, and come back with the Alcas Cup, which the young Rangers side did back in 2019. Right, we'll wrap up there. Thank you again for your patience for today's video, folks. Slightly later than what we normally plan to get it out. Usually it's about mid-afternoon, but yeah, that is a bit of the Rangers news doing the rounds today. I'll be on tomorrow morning on the morning briefing alongside Johnny McFarlane. We hope you can join us for that. Yeah, until then, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye for now.